In this video, I'm going to do some questions from the chapter Chemical Reactions and Equation. That is the very first chapter of chemistry class 10th. Now, we begin with a question which says that quicklime combines vigorously with water to form a compound A. So what is quicklime? Quicklime is calcium oxide, that is CaO, right? It is in the solid state. If it vigorously reacts with water, that is water, which is in the liquid state, to give a compound, and we know that it is calcium hydroxide CaOH whole twice, and this is aqueous, that is soluble in water. This is, so we can say that the compound A we identified, right? So compound A here is, this is compound A. So that is, this is compound A, we got it. Now further, what does it says? Further, it says that, where's that gone? Yeah. Further, it says that which slowly reacts with carbon dioxide in the air to form B. That means here A is what? A is this. A is this. So this reacts, that means calcium hydroxide CaOH, CaOH whole twice, and that's aqueous. It slowly reacts with carbon dioxide present in the air to form a compound B. And we know that this calcium hydroxide slowly reacts with carbon dioxide in the air to form calcium carbonate, CaCO3, which is in the solid state to release water. Water so released generally should be in the vapor form. So we write G for gas here. Now we have another important application, but before we study more that, let's first figure out this question. Identify the compound A and B. So A we have already identified, and the product in this case is B. So B is calcium carbonate and A is calcium hydroxide. Now, if I look into the options here, which should be correct, let's say calcium hydroxide as A and calcium carbonate as. So this should be the correct option. But we have more to learn up from this reaction. You should know that this is one of the applications of the product, that is calcium hydroxide. You should know that this calcium hydroxide, when applied on the walls, as I said, it is used in whitewashing. So this calcium hydroxide, which is applied on the walls, when it is applied on the walls, it slowly reacts with carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere to form a layer of calcium carbonate. Like within 2 or 3 days, you'll see that a shiny appearance comes on the wall because of this formation of calcium carbonate. Generally, we say that the water so present in it is gets vaporized. So this is one application. And the reaction is vigorous. This reaction is highly exothermic. So we should write plus heat in the reaction as well. Well, as far this is an MCQ, we do not need to specify these things. This is just for the understanding. The next question is, so which of the following is or are a double displacement reaction? So what we know, in a double displacement reaction, there is an exchange of ions, right? Now, first one, we should say that it is not a double displacement reaction. We should discard this because, as you can see here, in a double displacement reaction, the compound so made up of more than one atom, more than one element, right? So there cannot be an exchange of ions. In fact, this is a displacement reaction. The first is wrong. Now coming to this, as you can see here, the exchange of ions can takes place here. Like these have a partners. Like if I talk about the general format of a double displacement reaction, it is AB, say, plus CD, and there is an exchange of ions here. That means A will combine with D to form, say, AD, and B will combine with C, that is, say, BC. So this is what a general statement or general reaction for a double displacement reaction. So we said say that this is correct because here you can see that you can observe that there is an exchange of ions. So if I need to elaborate it further, I can also say that this is Na plus and SO4 2 minus, Na plus and SO4 2 minus, and this is Ba 2 plus and Cl minus. Now there's an exchange of ions takes place. That means next time Na plus will club with Cl minus, has to be positive and negative, and likewise BaSO4 first positive will combine with uh, SO4 2 minus. Now the resultant will be after the combination of these two, it is NaCl, both being 1 unit of charge, and these two will combine to form BaSO4, both having two valencies, so they cancel each other. Now clearly this is a double displacement reaction. Now we should again discard the third one. As you can see, this is a combination reaction where a single reactant combines, like here two or more reactant combine to give a single product. Now let's go for the next one. Here too, what you can see that this does not have a partner, right? That means CH4. So this is not a double displacement reaction. It can be categorized as an oxidation reaction, redox reaction, right? Where there is an oxidation or reduction taking place. So therefore, we can say this is also not correct. So therefore, the final answer, if you look in from the options given here, that means as we have to choose the option, so we'll say that only one, two is correct. That is, this only is the double displacement reaction. The next one is a very easy, in fact, question, the assertion reasoning based question. Well, the question says that assertion is burning of natural gas is an endothermic reaction. Now let's figure out natural gas is what? Methane, right? That is CH4. What we know that burning of any combustible substance like what we call as CNG is nothing but a compressed natural gas. Natural gas mainly comprises of uh, methane. That's why I wrote CH4. You know that when fuel burns, particularly hydrocarbon, this is carbon and hydrogen. So what does it produce? It produces carbon dioxide, water, and heat is released. Well, it's very well visible that heat is released during the reaction, and the reaction in which heat is produced or evolved is called an exothermic reaction, but we're saying endothermic reaction. So in an endothermic reaction, the heat is absorbed. So this is definitely not correct. And since as for the options given here, right, as for the options given here, when assertion is incorrect, we say that the option assertion is false. Then by default, there is no other options where assertion is false. So we do not need to elaborate it further. We can straight away say that D is the correct option. In the next question, it says that observe the figure and answer the questions given below. And what we can see, this is a conical flask here, and these are zinc granules. You can see these are zinc granules. These are zinc granules, and this is dilute sulfuric acid. Now we have to identify the gas. So what we can do, we can write down the reaction involved. We know that metals reacts with an acid. Well, acid here is dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4. Now the product form will be salt and hydrogen gas. The salt has to be ZnSO4 by default, and hydrogen gas is released here, right? So what you have to remember that the general reaction, that is a metal reacts with most of the dilute acid except for the dilute nitric acid to well, reaction takes place, but hydrogen gas is not evolved. Let me not confuse you. Metal like zinc or most of the metals which are above hydrogen in the activity series reacts with dilute sulfuric acid to produce salt, and hydrogen gas is released. Let's not deal with the exception here. Now, as I said, in this case, the hydrogen gas is released. So clearly the gas so released will be X. In fact, our first question is only that. So we'll say hydrogen gas. Now, next is write the chemical reaction. We have already done the written the chemical reactions here. That is the B part. Now, then they are asking for the type of reaction. Well, you can see that here hydrogen is being replaced by zinc. You can figure out that zinc is displacing hydrogen, and that's why zinc sulfate solution is formed. So we'll say it is a displacement reaction. This is displacement, displacement reaction. Further, it says that is it an endothermic or exothermic reaction? You should know that whenever a metal reacts with acid, well, most of the reaction with acids are exothermic. Like even if you put some base on acid, it produces heat. So here it is an exothermic reaction because the heat is evolved or the heat is released. Right, we are done.